Hey everybody, it is time for another video as I pontificate upon the universe of Wotv. But seriously, today we're going to be taking a look at some master abilities, we're going to take a look at some equipment, and we're just going to talk about the stuff that's come to the game. Except for reincarnations, as always, I do batch videos of those. But I am going to do some kind of tier list in the near future for those, as well as doing the most recent video that I've done for Wotv, which was talking about the characters over the next few months. I'm also going to do one about vision cards over the next few months too, and what I think is going to be the overall best VCs. So, with that being said, with setting up all of this stuff, let's talk about the stuff that came to the game today, but specifically Dark Golem. And Dark Golem is a 90 cost VC, which means half rates, incredibly low chance of getting it, possibly going, well, probably going all the way to pity to get this guy. And the question is it worth it? Well, the answer I think is just no to start. I'll explain about that in a second, but what I wanted to bring up is the fact that if you look at Golem right now, this is Chaos Golem. Look at his pretty pink ribbons on the actual character. I mean, this might be something that I think is a selling feature, right? Look, if you look like right on his left and right arm, he has two very pretty pink ribbons, and that's wonderful. Very nice. All right, so seriously, talking about this Esper, which I don't have yet. This is a screen cap I took off of somebody else. Rip that right away. You can see 1400 HP, about, you look here and more focused on magic, but not necessarily completely. Also pretty high attack, pretty balanced between the two. But I think the big thing here is 13 agility. And I know it's a tank Esper. 13 agility is kind of what you expect. But I do think for a 90 cost Esper, at least based on some of this stuff, like the stats and everything, I'm not super blown away for the cost of mission. And that's problematic, right? So what does the Esper have? Well, right below me, you can see a list. Wind Killer, Missile Resistance, Human Resistance, Defense, HP, Magic, Earth Attack, Wind Resistance, Critical Evasion, and Machine Killer. And honestly, without like a specific character in mind, I think this is just the next like general tank Esper. You look at just putting Missile Resistance, Human Resistance, which applies to almost everything in the game, and anything that's basically relevant right now in a lot of PvP teams. 15 defense, magic, potentially, but HP for sure. Critical evasion. I mean, he's just generally a really good tank Esper, I think. But nothing, again, that really blows me away in what I would expect for a 90 cost. And to me, it feels like Chaos Bahamut again. This is an incredible luxury item of being like, oh yeah, I have this new thing. It works with, I mean, like just going back to the VC as well, because the VC is part of the package. You're looking at like attack resistance, defense, max HP up, and acquired AP. We're both ice and earth. It's a pretty good VC across both of these elements. And, getting an Esper, throwing this on Snow, throwing this on Dialdo, throwing this on basically any character who just wants more defense is probably fine and just good enough. But is it worth the cost of admission? My answer is a definitive not for 95% of the players of this game. Possibly higher than that, but we'll say 95. I think that great Esper, fantastic to get as a off banner. I just think that until the 90 VCs become more appealing, there's no reason to spend money on this. Bahamut and Dark Golem just don't feel like mandatory things. So let's get into MA2s. So we have a list of MA2s this time around. So starting off, we'll start with the best. I say that because this is actually my favorite kind of upgrade, a really good one. So Cyrell. Cyrell is a character that I actually really like. Her cost is really low, so she can fit in some really good teams. And I think for limited cost stuff, she's pretty interesting. So big thing tonight that she ended up getting, she got some more DPS, posting like higher, I think it was slash attack and slash resistance penetration. But the big thing here, again, is she got Ruin Stern's barrier ability. So every time she goes into battle, she has a single free hit from the opponent, which is pretty huge because she is a very competent damage dealer. She's a character that I like a ton. So, like, I even 120'd her. She hasn't got her 140 yet, but I think she'll be even better when that happens. But in terms of a mid-tier upgrade, this is great, fantastic. Love this. I think that Cyrell is a great get for this update. Next up is everyone's favorite healer in the game. That's right, Ayaka. Threw you under the bus in this video. Resnick. And Resnick, really, really strong character, right? In any Thunder Elemental team, possibly just any team if you just need a healer kind of thing. Like, Resnick is a character that I think is really fantastic. And for her, she got more defense, more spirit, 10 apiece. I think her healing went up a smidge, but don't quote me on that. I don't remember exactly. And Wotv Calc doesn't have the numbers yet. I just did it kind of thing. But she also, I think, got a little bit of extra magic. So not like she really necessarily needed any of it, because you don't want her attacked in the first place. But she's potentially a little more survivable, potentially a little bit more damage dealy, and all that stuff is great for her. So, great character, got even better, sure, whatever. Moving on. And the last character to get upgraded is Brave Leela, a character who is still used quite fairly frequently. JP, Sephiroth's needs some friends, of course, so how about Leela? I could see the two of them getting along great. As for the upgrade here, mostly healing power up and resistance, which, sure, resistance, harder to kill, fantastic. And as for healing power, it does improve her general, like, ability of she takes too much damage, gets below a certain threshold, and then heals all the way back up, potentially. Like, we've seen these kind of healing powers be very, very strong. Actually, a character I haven't talked too much about, but is really insanely great healer right now, is Engelbert. Engelbert with Chakra is just an insanely powerful heal and very, very back-breaking for an opponent sometimes, especially if they've just run out of AP. So yes, never underestimate these kind of healing powers. And again, one of the strongest elements in the game. Leela hasn't even got her 140 yet, so we'll see what happens, but I expect this to be pretty good for her. But yeah, Cyrell is my favorite because she's just cheaper. Leela and Resnick were already two really good characters that got generally good upgrades, but nothing here that really makes me stop and go. Alright. So, JP did get a story update, which is good because I think Global is going to be about 2 or 1 month from now. Like, where's all the story updates, bro? And this is a friendly reminder that I'm sure you'll forget about. But the last thing we have is to talk about the box event. There is this style of event going on for JP right now. The normal boss, Kefka, of course, who else would it be? And hard is Death Guys. Now, I haven't actually done the hard mission yet, but normal is perfectly easy. Most of the maps are generally fine. I don't think that anybody will have any problems there in showing off the bonus units and bonus VCs. If anybody's curious about planning out, good news, Lock is still the big one. As for large bonuses, plenty of variety here, although you might have a little trouble seeing some synergy between all of them. I feel kind of the same. And as for bonus VCs, here you go, and you can see as we scroll down the different variability in what you're getting bonuses out of this if you're trying for the highest score. Now, as for the boxes themselves, I am happy to report that they have seen a slight improvement. It's the slightest of improvements. So scrolling through what you can see here for just some of the stuff that is capable of being pulled from these boxes. And here, this is what I mean by the very slightest of improvement. Remember how they said we were going to have more chances to get more of these scrolls? Well, how about literally 21 reincarnations? Not spending money, you're not getting a ton of these scrolls. So much for that generosity thing. But yeah, not too terribly much to said. It is improved technically by every definition, but it's not improved that much. As for the piece of equipment from the raid this time around, well, we have Kefka's armor. Now, I do believe that the ribbon also got improved, but I haven't built it and I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know what the 6-star upgrade looks like for that. But I think, if I'm really lucky here, I think I pulled... Oh, we pulled one from the Chocobo, and so we can actually make this for the video. Oh, what type? Oh, right, we don't get a choice. Go find it. There it is. So yes, here is Kefka's piece of armor. Looks like we got the Vitality version, so you can see the HP, critical evasion, defense, and spirit on this thing. Not necessarily the version we wanted, but since we didn't have a choice, sure, why not? So the big thing that we are getting off of this for everybody is magic attack up, as well as critical evasion. Now the critical evasion is of 20, which, hold on, we'll talk about this. As for the bonus for FF6 type units, the bonus for FF6 units is accuracy increased by 20 and human killer by 10. So it feels very much in line with the FF7 intergrade remake collaboration that Global is getting with the Yuffie cloak kind of thing. Almost the exact same thing here. And that was a good piece of equipment, but specifically only for those collaboration characters. And this is the exact same story here. Magic attack up on this isn't overly that impressive. Critical evasion is kind of interesting for units like Kefka as well as Celeste, because they are like more defensive type characters, and avoiding critical hits can save you HP and keep them around longer. So okay, good. As for accuracy, it's nice. It's a good source of accuracy for all FF6 characters across the board. It's just 20 is a start and you need to keep going. This doesn't fix the issue I have with Kefka. I know that some people have said on the team, I've suggested that, you know, Swimsuit Helena does have 100% hit accuracy ability in her kit, but that can be ignored by certain characters. And the other thing is that Helena is kind of the one who's going to take the brunt force, and as soon as she's gone, it doesn't really matter. You can't deal with evasion characters anyway. So this is a good source for Kefka. It's a start, but it isn't enough, and you're sacrificing a lot of DPS potentially to do the accuracy build in total to point where it's actually relevant. The human killer here, though, is nice. I can see that all FF6 characters potentially wanting this. Actually, even maybe Terra might benefit the most overall from this piece of equipment, but I think that I quite like it for Celeste, because I've been looking for extra sources of DPS and accuracy for water type characters and deal with more of those evasion characters. So this I like for Celeste most of all, and maybe that's my bias showing, but I think it's quite good here. So that, I think, is a comprehensive look at all the upgrades, my thoughts on all the upgrades and the new C. And the next video will take a look at the next batch of characters, which as soon as Wotv Calc updates, I'll make that video. See ya.